Hello and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a Pokemon themed cake, more specifically, a Detective Pikachu cake. Oh yeah. The Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie comes out today, and it looks like it's going to be an awesome movie. It looks like it's going to be fun, and Ryan Reynolds looks like he does a great job as Detective Pikachu. Drop a comment down below and let me know if you're going to go see that movie. This cake is really easy to do, and I'm not the best designer, so if I can do this, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get started. Also, I have a few other themed cakes. I have a Spider-Man cake, I have a Curious George cake, and a Lego Man cake here on my channel. Check those out if you are interested. First, you need some kind of a stencil or image. Now, I printed this off, just found an image on Google and just made a little document from it. Down below, I'll put a link where you can find this document that I created. Also, you notice my color printer is running out of ink, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter. We don't really need it to look beautiful. We just need to get the shapes out of there. And what we want to do first is we want to cut out the shape. There we go, we got a little Pikachu cutout stencil. And then also on this, I'm just gonna draw some highlights here. Just some shadows, that's underneath the chin. This is the shape of his hands, arms that are right in front. Like that, just so I kind of know where they're at. And here's the shape of his back and his tail. So what I wanna do is just cut out some pieces here. I'm just going to do the shape of his head. Like that. And then his ears and his hat. And then his tail, I could cut that out as well, but I'm going to just leave his tail on there and we'll work around it. And now you want to bake a cake, and I just have a 12-inch round, and I baked the full cake right in here. This is a strawberry cake. You can use a 13x9 also shape, that'll work. And I'm just using, a store-bought cake mix for the ease of this video. I have several from scratch cakes that you can use any one of those if you want, or just use your favorite from scratch cake. I'm going to take it out, remove the parchment paper, and let's set it on our cake board. And you can design the cake board however you like. And now we want to cut out our shapes. Another reason why I didn't leave the ears on is because they're too long for this. So we're going to take the ears out of the side here. But that looks good. And now we want to cut out the cake shapes. So just with a knife, go around your stencil. And then I'm going to take these cake pieces and set them on a plate so I can use them later as needed. And out of these big pieces, we will get the ears and whatnot, and the hat we might just make out of fondant. And then if you have any leftovers, you can just eat them, or you can crumble them up and make some cake pops. I have a nice cake pop video, and I'll put a link down below for that as well. Also, what we want to do is we want to trim down his tail, because right now it's too thick. And so with this as the guideline, kind of just eyeball that. Again, we could have done this as a separate piece. And then just come in here and just cut it in half. And there you go. It's halfway down, and it looks like it's behind him. And now I can cut away the remainder of this just so it's not in my way anymore. And now I want to do my ears. And you could make the whole ears out of fondant as well if you like. Or we'll just take a piece of cake. And just cut around and make an ear. That's the right ear. And his other ear. So there's our general shape. And you notice how this is a little bit concave, but that's okay. We can just put frosting over that. Or if you're not happy with it, you can just go like this. And level it off. Not totally necessary, but we did it, okay? Now we want to give this a good coating of buttercream frosting or whatever your favorite frosting is. This is homemade buttercream. I'll put a link down below where you can make your own. Now once we have it covered, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator while we prep the fondant. Now I took half of the package of yellow fondant and I'm going to knead it in my hands just to get it nice and soft and pliable. You can buy fondant online. I'll put a link where you can get that, or like at Walmart or Target, Michael's, stores like that will have it. Your grocery store might have it as well. And now we want to roll it out, and you can buy a special fondant roller. I'm just going to use my rolling pin. And we want to roll this out till it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. And we want to roll it out so it's a lot bigger than the item that we're putting on. In this case, our little Pikachu. And then the little trick is you just take it and you roll it out like this, roll it up like that. And then we'll just take it and we'll just roll it back out. Okay? And then come in here with your hands and just kind of start shaping it. And we're just going to work with it until we get all the fondant up against it. Okay, and also make sure your hands are clean. I say that every time in my videos, but just to make sure. And just take a sharp knife. We're just going to trim around at the bottom. And just trim away our excess. Alright, so the basic shape is complete. Now we need to go in and do all of the details. It can be a little tedious. So I like to put him on there and then just using your fingers, just shape as needed. And now we need to do the definition of the feet. And I just have a little fondant tool and I'm just going to come in here. Just kind of work with it a little bit, just gently. And you can come in here with a little, just with your knife a little bit, and maybe do the shape of his toes. Then I want to do that with this side. Fondant is pretty forgiving, but you don't want to manhandle it a ton, because you might rip it and then it's just harder to fix. Okay, I'm happy with that. Got some little feet going. And now I'm going to put this back on. I've got all the shapes going. Got the feet are there. I want to do underneath his chin. Just right about here. Just to define that a little bit. Okay, and then I want to make little arms. Something like that. And a lot of times it'll just stick right on there, or you can just use a little bit of water and then it'll stick better. And then come in here and do some little hands. Just checking my stencil. Yeah, that looks about right. Nice. All right, our little Detective Pikachu is coming along nicely. A couple of things we need to do. We need to do the details on the ears, right? So we want to do the black fondant on the ears. So just take our black and knead it a little bit. We just want a really thin piece. Cut that in half. And then this is at an angle. And then if you need to, just come in here with a little bit of water. Put it on there. And then again, we'll just shape it. And you might need to touch it up a little bit to smooth it out. There we go. That's one ear done. Now we need to do the other ear. All right, yay. Got the ears done. We need to do the cheeks, the nose, the mouth, and the hat still. So for the nose, we just want a little triangle here. Got his little nose going, nice. And then I'm gonna do the mouth. And we just need a nice little long strand. Or you could just, again, all these designs also, you can just paint them on with edible paint. So just roll up a little piece of fondant. Roll up a little piece of fondant that you know is, it's probably good. It's okay if it's a little, it's not totally exact. And then you can draw just like a little indentation where you want it to be. And then just lay it right down in there. There we go. We have a nose and a mouth. And then before I am done with the black, I want to get my pupils. And so for that, just going to roll out some fondant. I'm going to take a piping tip, and then the fat side, I'm going to use that to get out my pupils. So I got nice, perfectly round pupils, and then I'm done with the black fondant. I can put that away. And now we need to make some nice little rosy cheeks for our Detective Pikachu. And so we're going to use red fondant for that. Just knead it in your hands. And then I have another piping tip, a bigger one. And I can put those right on there. And now we need to do the brown part of the eye, the pupil, the little white speck in the pupil, and then the hat. So I'm going to get out my white fondant. This is an alternative way to doing colors. And we're just going to make his hat out of fondant. So I got some white fondant here, and I'm going to grab a little bit just for the little eyeball specks. And then I'm going to use the other end of my baking tip, of my piping bag tip, for the speck. And I'm just going to give this white fondant a knead. And then what we want to do is we want to take this icing color, brown icing color, and dip in your toothpick. And then you put it on your fondant, and then you'll knead the color in to your fondant. And then eventually your fondant will turn brown. And you can get it as dark or as light as you want. If you want it like just a nice light brown color, then don't use so much at the beginning. And then eventually you'll get it to be brown, whatever color that you want. You can also just buy brown fondant. And the pupils with this, they're roughly the size, or the eyeball is roughly the size of the cheek. Like that. And then we want to put in our pupil. And then the little speck. Yeah. Awesome. And now all we have to do is the hat. And then just shape it, just shape it into like a little hat with a bill. With your hands. Kind of like that shape is probably good. And we're just going to stick it right on top. Let's make that bill come out a little bit better. Like that. And he's about done. Like you can try to do a couple more little things. Like maybe we'll put like a little speck on the top here of his hat. But I think I will call this good. Our cute little Detective Pikachu. All right, the Detective Pikachu cake is done. Turned out fantastic. If I can do it, you can do it. Remember to comment down below and let me know if you're planning on seeing the movie, and if you've already seen it, let me know what you thought. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down in the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care.